Benjamin Higginbotham with TechnologyEvangelist.com. With me, I've got Nicholas once again from the Participatory Culture Foundation. Those are the guys who make Democracy Player. Nicholas, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Very good, thanks.
So you guys are on the cusp of releasing Democracy Player 0.9.5. That just kind of rolls right off the tongue. Tell us a little bit about this new release.
Yeah, this is a big update for us, and it's the biggest update that you'll see before our 1.0 comes out. We have a lot of important stuff in here. A lot of it's behind the scenes, but some of the stuff you'll notice is a redesigned interface. It's sort of smoother and simpler and slicker. We have some nice things like for Mac users, it'll generate thumbnails automatically. Once you download a video, we don't have that yet for Windows or Linux, but that's something that we're definitely working on. There's proxy support, better BitTorrent support, it does a better job resuming downloads if something gets interrupted. And all in all, I think it's just a smoother and cleaner experience, and it's a big step towards the 1.0.
You know, one thing I noticed is that as each build keeps getting released, the system seems to use less and less RAM and get faster and faster and faster in its ability to just play back files and download files. Because I remember working with a beta, I think it was like 0.8 or something like that, and it was a pretty big RAM hog. How are you coming on the optimization of Democracy at this point?
That's definitely a big focus for us, and over the past few versions, we've done a lot to reduce the memory use, improve the speed. And that's going to be something that we continue to work on. It's not clear right now whether we'll be doing some big changes before or after 1.0, but over the next 6 months, we're going to continue to see much better performance, both using less resources, feeling faster, more responsive. So we definitely see that as important.
Now, you mentioned that this is one of the, at least I believe you mentioned it, this is one of the final releases before 1.0, or at least it's very close to your road to 1.0. What do we have left to get to 1.0? What can we expect in 1.0?
Yeah, the big thing that you'll see in 1.0 is stability, and we're going to be doing a lot of bug fixing, trying to nail down some of the last final bugs that we haven't been able to fix so far. The biggest challenge on our end for that is just being able to reproduce the bugs, finding a system where we can see it happen, because there's so many different kinds of setups out there that a bug might only happen in really specific circumstances, and that makes it hard for us to track it down and fix it. Once we see it happening, we can always fix it. And so stability, fixing bugs is definitely the biggest priority. There's also just a few sort of finishing touches. We want to make it easier for people to use remote controls with Democracy Player if they have something like that. Have a few more ways that people can customize and interact with it. So it's sort of, it's mostly going to be cleanup around the edges, but I think it'll feel like a more complete experience. One of the biggest things that's about to happen is that we're going to be renaming Democracy Player. And we've found that a lot of people get confused by the name, and when they first hear about it, they think that it only has content related to politics on it, which is definitely not the case and not what we intended with the name. So we feel like it's important for us to find a new name. We have one that we think is going to work. We're just going through some legal stuff, and we're also getting a new icon and website design. So as part of that 1.0 process, we're going to be launching a new name, new style for the player, and that's going to be big too. The final thing, and what I think right now is probably the weakest part of the Democracy Player experience, is the channel guide. And we're rewriting that from scratch. The version that you see now is based on some existing software that's out there and doesn't exactly fit our needs. What we're doing is starting over from scratch, making something that's very fast, very responsive. And once we have a good foundation built, we're going to be doing a lot of work to add better rating systems, find more ways to trickle up the best content. As we've seen the channel guides, reach nearly 1,000 different channels, it becomes more and more important for us to find ways of filtering up the best stuff. So we want to make it easier for people to share channels, rate channels, and see what people really like, and not just subscribe to stuff that looks attractive on the surface when they're on the guide.
It feels like a next natural extension for Democracy Player is going to get PMP support, such as the PlayStation Portable, the Video iPod, or other small portable video players. And I know that that's not currently a feature of Democracy Player, at least the ability to take the videos that I've downloaded and push it to these other devices, mainly because it's extremely complex. I mean, the Video iPod is going to take a totally different video format than the PSP, which is going to take a totally different video format than a Plays for Sure Windows mobile device. Now, is that on your roadmap to actually add, and is that going to be a 1.0 feature or later? And how are you going to deal with that?
Yeah, syncing to portable devices like the iPod or PSP is something that we definitely want to do. And it's not going to happen for 1.0. We feel like our mission for 1.0 is to make a solid and excellent desktop app that you can use every day and really rely upon. That's what we want to do for 1.0, get a good foundation in place. From there, we'd like to see Democracy Player, be able to get its content out to more different devices, get it onto your TV more easily, onto any portable devices that you're using. And so we're going to start tackling that. It may come in stages, and it may mean that we start with the ability to sync to the most popular devices, to sync file formats that they already play. Then later on, we add the ability to transcode from one format into another format, and so that more of your videos are able to play on your iPod, for example. But that's definitely coming for us.
And Nicholas, last time we talked, we actually went to you, and we talked, at that time, iTunes was one version lower. It really didn't have very good video support. Since then, iTunes has added a whole new video catalog. You've got shows, downloads of episodes of television shows and movies and whatnot, and they've changed the way they deal with video. How does that compete with Democracy, or does it compete with Democracy? And why are you different, or why are you better than iTunes in that front?
Yeah, iTunes has made some improvements to their video software, but the focus that they have is really on accumulating a collection of videos, for example, movies that you buy off of their store, or music videos that you buy from their store, and accumulating a certain kind of collection. And our focus is more on the flow of the internet, the flow of videos that is becoming more and more a part of people's online experience. And I think we're really offering an experience that's very different and goes way beyond the approach that iTunes takes. So the channel model that we have really lets you handle lots of videos coming in, seeing what's on a variety of channels, organizing that in different ways. And I think we still have them beat in terms of the video experience.
From a publisher standpoint, I think the big differentiator between Democracy and iTunes is torrent support. I can directly download a torrent video file, and as I'm publishing my high-definition 1080p videos, which we do, the bandwidth is taken off of me, and so now I no longer have to pay for the full distribution of the file, maybe a little bit now. And I think that's really one of the big, powerful features of Democracy. And you guys get kudos for that, for having that from the beginning. I mean, that's really what makes you guys different and stand out from the rest of the crowd.
Yeah, I think that the BitTorrent support that we have is definitely something that iTunes can't compete with, and we also have a lot more flexibility on video formats. Both on Mac and Windows now, we're able to play Flash video files, which are the most popular online video files now, and a lot bigger variety of formats than you could play with iTunes or Windows Media Player or anything else that's out there that tries to be a video organizer or video download.
Well, Nicholas, it's a great product, and we always enjoy chatting with you, and I hope you'll come back soon when you release version 1.0, whatever it will be called at that point.
Thank you so much.
All right, you have a great day. Thank you.
Definitely will come back. You too. Take care.